Hey,
So that is our very first intro to our very first live stream here at Heathen, and we are graced by the horrifying presence of some of our Monster Fam Discord members. So you guys a quick little intro, and then maybe you guys can say like just whatever you want about yourselves, however much or little. So let's start with the one and only Bog. First of all, what are you dressed as?
Plague Doctor.
Plague Doctor. A little side-to-side action there, yeah. He actually looks like a bird to me.
yeah, it doesn't look like a real person. I feel like you just put some AI kind of being in front of your screen.
Oh, and also just a quick welcome. We've got Rainbow Fright watching along. Hello. So let's move on. We've got down here in the Michael Myers mask, Max.
Hello.
I gave away your costume, but if there's anything you want to add.
Couldn't tell.
Sits around for a reason. Thank you for having me on. I'm ready to chat about this movie. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. And last but not least, right here, we have the one and only Mo Raven.
Hi, everybody. So I'm living my trash-inspired fantasy here going on. Yes.
Yeah, I like it. It's dramatic, and that's what we need at Halloween. I see like a little clown, a little baby, a little something.
Absolutely. Well, I was Terrifier for Halloween, and I've been Pennywise for Halloween before, and I said, okay, let's give us a little clown. Let's give us a little trash. Let's meld everything that I love about Halloween and rock glam and just put it in together.
Not go wrong.
Yeah, you look ready for parties. So let's have a great one. And I guess
absolutely.
I am death.
He's even got his scythe.
Yeah, I've got a scythe here, which I'll put safely out of reach.
Yeah, he's not on duty at the moment, guys. Don't worry. And I'm an unraveling half mummy, I guess. I'll be honest. I thought I ordered enough bandages, but my God, you need like a truckload of bandages to do this right, guys. So if you ever
we had rolls and rolls and rolls, and then it got to the end of the last roll. I said to Karen, I think you've been a bit too ambitious here. We could have just gone with a mask and be done with it.
Yeah.
But instead we had to go full hog and wrap our entire body. But yeah, not bad.
We've also got the Monster Fam tuning in here. So welcome, Monster Fam. The reason we're here at the moment doing
the Monster Fam Halloween Resurrection Extravaganza. Anyone got any Halloween snacks at hand? I mean, Halloween is a big snacking holiday, if you want to call it a holiday.
I'm eating pizza. I've got cookies. There's a beer somewhere in this house.
I can't really work out this camera. I've got to point it, but we've got a plate of fingers here, giant man fingers. As you can see, they've been severed at the bottom. That's the blood. And I know what you're all wondering. When you're buying fingers, how do you check if they're fresh? Well, it's much like buying fish. You just give it a whiff. And if they can't smelling of nothing, then you have fresh fingers. I'm not sure how readily available fingers are in America, but here in England, down to local butchers, and you are sorted. And of course, what are fingers without some human eyeballs, which I've relieved some of the public on the street this afternoon of their eyesight in West London here. And at first they were all quite peeved, but once I told them it was for the Monster Fam live stream, they came across the idea, and their life is now worthwhile that their eyes are on this live stream. So there we go. Eyes and fingers. You kind of one without the other. And we'll munch on those all the way through. And if anyone wants to order any fingers, just get a hold of the Heathen channel and I can procure these for you.
Beautiful.
We've had a crash course now in John's sense of humor. So just be ready, guys.
Yeah. In a room full of Americans and a slightly insane Brit, I don't know how this humor's going to go, but we'll see.
I love it.
I love
can
it
dig-
too. I love British humor.
Welcome, Night Beast.
Yes. So getting in to the movie, so everyone has seen Halloween Resurrection before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. This was what I want to know is how was everyone's first experience with this movie? Let's start with Mo,
Oh my gosh.
if you don't mind.
The first, oh no, I don't mind at all. The first experience with this particular movie was in my early 20s, my own apartment. I have no cable, and this is one of the movies I decide to have on my TV, just running, just always running. I love Busta
Bit of
Rhymes.
background noise.
No way.
Oh no,
No. I'm talking about when you put the movie on. It's like a nice
yeah.
background noise for you. Yeah, I get it.
Absolutely background noise for getting ready to go out, background noise for getting ready to go to work. And I had a little bit of a crush on Mr. Busta Rhymes at the time, so I'm like, oh, go ahead, give me my cinematic value, Busta Rhymes. What you gonna do? And then of course to experience that, online persona getting put out there saying, hey, come help me online friend, help me.
Yeah, Deckard.
Yeah, Deckard. Coming from someone that has been an online friend for many a moon, it kind of struck when I was in my early 20s, like, oh no, who's gonna help us? Deckard.
So I can hear one of the guys here giggling in the background because it's okay. It is Max. So DeRay got it complete. Rainbow Fright got it right. I couldn't tell because of the masks. I don't know if you wanted to add any more, Mo, but I feel like.
Oh no, that's good. That's my piece right there. To see
Yeah.
it again at 44 was a hoot. It was a hoot.
So we've got a fan, and now Max, I think we all know where you stand. But if you'd like to give us your first memory of watching it and how you felt about that.
Well, my first memory of watching it was I was 14 or 15 years old, so it was 2002. I was 15. I was not able to get into the theater to see it because R-rated movies are 17 and up. So this was one of the first movies I ever pirated. It used to be only The Matrix that you could pirate and nothing else, and this is my second movie, I think. Maybe Red Dragon was second, but it was around the same time. And I remember watching it and thinking, what the hell was that? And I have not seen the movie in 22 years, and that's the same reaction I just had. What the hell was that?
Very nice.
I can agree with you. I've actually got a fan and a not so much fan here on our side as well. So everyone's opinions is welcome. And welcome to Chunky Code Monkey. Oh, hi yourself.
What a beautiful name.
Hi,
Yeah.
Chunky.
So I guess Bog, you are our final one. And we had a little bit backstage, but now live for everybody. Would you like to recount your memory of this film?
I have very little memory of the first time I saw this film. I know it was on TV about 20 years ago. And the only thing I really remembered from it was Busta Rhymes breaking bad on Michael Myers. Just absolutely waylaying on him.
Yep.
And that's probably one of the best moments in cinematic history right there.
Absolutely. Not just horror cinema history, but yeah, like you said, general cinema history. Let me say, when I first saw this movie, I was originally, as a youngster, I was vexed. I cried out at the world, what has happened to the good name of Halloween? What has happened to the good name of horror with this abomination? Because at the time, I was not ready for, like Bog says, the kung fu mastery of this movie and the found footage nature of it and just models being in the movie. And much like Mo, I am a huge fan of Busta Rhymes. In fact, we've been listening to him and LL Cool J today in honor of Halloween H2O and Halloween Resurrection. It really stuck with me. But the thing was, I love Halloween H2O. So once they said they were going to release a follow-on to this, I couldn't have been more excited. And much like Max, I sat there just baffled as to what the hell have I just seen. So I put it away I never went back to watch it for about 20 years, but as they say,
20 years later.
absence makes the heart grow fonder, and now I can kind of appreciate it for the turd that it is.
And you know what? We've actually got another viewer here. The Sonic and Mario plush squad. That's a mouthful. And they actually brought up Halloween H2O, H20, whatever you call
Everyone
it.
calls it
whichever party you're
H2O,
on.
right? Everyone in England always called it H2O, which makes no sense. It's Halloween water. But technically it's H20, but I've never heard anyone call it that. In fact, I was listening to the commentary the other night of the movie, and even the filmmakers called it Halloween H2O. So, there.
I was
Right,
describing
well-
it to him and he didn't know. He's like, H2O, what are you talking about?
Someone actually pointed out that it's redundant. Another movie reviewer, and I just never thought of it. That's the power of marketing to turn off your brain. It's really redundant because it's Halloween 20, if you think about it.
Oh
Exactly,
my.
yes, 20 years on from the original. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. But yeah, like the marketing just went wrong. Halloween H2O. Yeah.
Or did it go really, really right?
Yeah. For me now, this is just one of those bizarre entries in the annals of horror, much like, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street 2 or Jason X or the Wicker Man remake, you know. One of those for me now. I can enjoy it for the silliness.
I don't think
Absolutely.
I saw it for the first time until I was, you know, pretty an adult already, which is kind of shocking, but there you go. And it hasn't been a long enough time for me to have that fondness for it yet. Busta Rhymes is pretty much the saving grace for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's just because he's...
Yeah. What I wanted to get into is, you know, the Academy, the Academy Awards, they almost always get everything wrong. So I took a look back in time, and in the year 2003, the year of Halloween Resurrection, I saw that Adrian Brody won Best Actor at the Oscars, and you had the likes of Jack Nicholson were nominated, Nicolas Cage, and I was wondering, do you think it was just an oversight that Busta Rhymes didn't get a nod for an Academy Award?
Absolutely.
100%.
I mean, he's doing a lot in this movie.
He's doing a lot.
He's carrying the entire movie.
Yeah. And, you know, he's portraying a lot of emotions. There's that fantastic scene when he's really, really enjoying Kung Fu on the television. And he's interrupted by Bianca Kalic's character, Sarah, who goes to the door. Then he gives a pep talk. So he's in another, you know, frame of mind at this point, giving a pep talk after enjoying Kung Fu. Then, you know, later on, he's got berate Michael Myers for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And by the end of the movie, he's philosophizing over the whole thing. So quite a tour de force.
Such a range.
It's basically like, this movie is basically Network meets Friday the 13th, if you think about it. It's kind of his whole "I'm mad as hell and not going to take it anymore" speech.
Yeah.
The shockingness of having this come in the franchise when it comes after, like, the previous installment being somewhat serious, I guess, if you guys would agree. And then when this comes up, I mean, what a jump. It's just insane.
Yeah, I mean, for us, recent... carry on, sorry. Please, go ahead.
Yeah, it feels as if it was... They tried to take a Friday the 13th movie and put into Halloween. And I was thinking as I watched it, I know Rosenthal did Halloween too. I'm not sure if he did any of the Friday the 13th movies. But it had all that like goofy stuff there, but it feels like they put it into the wrong world or something. But I have to wonder if maybe this was like just something that wasn't Halloween, and maybe they were able to have more creative leeway to make it as silly as they wanted. It just seemed like there's like a tug of war between two tones going on, and the audience lost. That's my impression of it.
Absolutely.
So before we continue, we have a mystery guest. Dun, dun, dun. I've already unmasked Max, but who could we possibly have here? Let's have a look.
Well, that can only be the Busta Rhymes.
The real Michael Myers. I'm sorry, this isn't killing people.
Guys, everybody got the press. We have the real Michael Myers.
And he speaks.
On the live stream, and he speaks.
Yeah,
so
it's an act. You think it's crazy that we actually act in movies. I act as a mute.
I see, that was an artistic choice of yours. Cool.
I guess a very autistic choice of mine.
Oh,
And he can speak British English as well.
Rather the Queen's English.
I love it.
It's a pleasure.
Mystery Myers, do you remember the first time you saw this movie?
I saw it in theaters. So I saw H2. H2O was the first Halloween I had seen in theaters, and I liked it, and so I very excitedly went and seen this, and was immediately disappointed.
That's pretty much exactly what I and everyone else said. Yeah. But how do you feel about it now? Can you enjoy it for what it is?
Yeah, absolutely. It it's it had some fun little moments in it, and you love the Busta Rhymes karate stuff, and Michael Myers. Anytime you could see Myers being brought back for like a different little generation, it's like you could find some sort of joy in it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't know if this is a controversial opinion, but I have this movie above both the Rob Zombies and the more trilogy.
I think that's fair.
That's a fair assessment, right?
Absolutely.
People can't hear us well, they're saying.
You said above the Thorn trilogy or the new trilogy? I didn't hear that part.
I put Halloween Resurrection above both the Rob Zombie movies and the more recent trilogy.
I actually think that's kind of okay because I saw that this one tried to do what that trilogy did, where they recycled a lot of stuff from the previous films. And it made me dislike this movie. Is so bad it made me dislike movies that I do like. So I have to give it credit.
Yeah, yeah. The effect of the film keeps going.
That's probably why we missed the fact that they were smoking weed in the movie, smoking reefer, and I'm like, what they? I never saw that. They were actually they were doing one of the rules. They were smoking weed. Did anybody have sex? Nobody had sex. I don't remember if they did, cause
almost.
There was a bra
funniness.
reveal.
Yeah, there was a lot of
exactly that.
Yeah.
Is it hard to breathe in that thing, Frank? Is that why you've
Does that happen?
So now I'm that classic picture of Nick Castle wearing the thing.
Yes,
I still am a Halloween costume now. And it was difficult to breathe. Thank you for recognizing that, Max. You're doing very good.
Lots of practice protecting my identity from ghouls and goblins like you.
Lots of practice wearing creepy masks around people.
Just you around creepy people. Yep.
I don't know if you can see it, but I have very professional notes and some quite hard-hitting questions to get through. And one of them is, if in Halloween Resurrection, we have, of course, Busta Rhymes with his kung fu style taking it to Michael Myers. So I was wondering, what horror icon would you like to see go up against kung fu style against which rapper? And I'll begin. I'll give you some time to think about. I took 3 days off work to think about this. And what I came up with in the end was I would like to see the one and only Pinhead take on Flavor Flav. Okay. And I'm not sure how they end up in the world where they're now facing off in a kung fu style. But what happens is Pinhead tries to engage Flavor Flav in intellectual conversation, which of course is fruitless because everything that Pinhead says to him, Flavor Flav can only respond with, "Yeah, boy!" So Pinhead will say something like, "Your suffering will be legendary, even in hell." And he'll just get, "Yeah, boy!" back. And this scrambles Pinhead's brain, momentarily weakening him, allowing Flavor Flav to show us his as yet unseen and unheard of kung fu skills. And he takes Pinhead down to his knees. And before he administers the final blow, he takes a look at his big clock and he says to Pinhead, "You know what time it is," and then kicks him in the head and his head explodes. That's just what I thought in my 3 days off work.
I love it.
Did you get paid?
My side. She's attacking me.
Okay, after that saga, which I can now understand why I was picking up the slack for 3 days, Bog, our fan,
I had important business to attend to.
Our fans seem to be missing you. So do you have any answer? A rapper versus a horror icon?
Oh gosh.
Eminem versus Ghostface.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wasn't that your one?
I had Eminem, but I actually put him versus Chucky. I just want to see Chucky do something. I think Chucky versus anyone would be sick. Okay.
Eminem would just punt Chucky for a field goal.
Mine would be Art the Clown versus P. Diddy.
Oh,
Very relevant. Yes.
Why is it relevant? Is there like a news story or something?
Well, they're both in the news currently.
I'll have to look into that. I wonder, maybe would like P. Diddy like save somebody from a burning school or something?
Yeah, a bunch of
it's
kids.
quite the opposite of things like
Saved
that.
them all.
Sorry, guys.
Okay.
God, they're cheapening this day.
Nick Castle Myers. I've just seen that. Cool. So Mo, do you want to go next?
absolutely. So, what I was contemplating on was perhaps a 2 Chainz Candyman face off.
Okay, yes.
Why not? And not 2 Chainz Candyman from the 90s, but 2 Chainz Candyman remake.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. Pick
Okay.
apart that one. Who?
Yeah.
Who? Go ahead, 2 Chainz. Come on. Do some of that kung fu. Do some of that kung fu. All them chains. Choke 'em with the chain. That's right.
Okay, we've got some great options here. I really hope, by the way, that someone picks this up and makes like one of those 2-player fighter games where you can actually choose these. So
We get
Sick, right?
some horror icons in Mortal Kombat, don't we?
yeah. So Nick Castle Myers, do you wanna answer?
I guess Kanye versus Hannibal Lecter might be interesting. I feel like they would have some interesting conversations. Like it would be like there would be a good banter or something.
Yeah.
Banter. Beyonce, does Beyonce have much banter with people?
I don't think I've ever heard a lady speak
don't
before.
I said Kanye.
She'll be
Not
brought
Beyonce.
out. Oh, who did you say? Oh, Kanye.
Kanye West.
I thought you said Beyonce. I was like, is she a...
No, that would be an interesting choice too, I guess. But no, I just feel like they're both like lunatics. Kanye West and Hannibal Lecter. They were just like
a lot more sense. My mistake. It's the bandages, guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have AI come up with a script for that right now, actually.
I feel like Hannibal Lecter would end up sparing him.
Say that again.
I feel like Hannibal Lecter would like end up sparing him and turning him into some sort of a disciple. I feel like you would just enjoy like unleashing chaos with him. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
That sounds about right.
Speaking of things that don't really belong in a Halloween movie, much like Kung Fu, what does anyone make of the found footage inserted into this? Frankie.
I think it would have worked better if it was not Halloween. I think that if maybe they did, let's say, some sort of Grindhouse tribute movie where it was just some generic slasher or something like that that was new, maybe like, think of like in the vein of A Violent Place, that would have worked out. It would have also worked out for Friday the 13th, like I said earlier. Tonally, it would have worked. But for Halloween, it doesn't work. I just feel like, what I'm saying, the tone of all those movies, even the campier ones, doesn't really lend to that sort of silliness, I think.
No, it got me thinking what kind of other horror franchises could go the found footage route, and I couldn't really think of anything, if I'm honest. I feel like it's just a big failure. Just don't bother.
I don't know.
I've seen in one of the Jason movies where they're like doing a paintball thing, and it feels kind of found footage-ish. And I feel like Friday the 13th could be done kind of properly, like some people Blair Witch / Jason type thing would be interesting. But that would feel grimy or gritty or whatever, where like this Halloween felt polished and like
shiny, super shiny.
Yeah. Found footage tends to be just like more straight about the fear and the horror. It's not, you have like comedic moments, but there's no sort of comedic style to it, I wouldn't say. So it would work better with something like Jason. And this, I mean, if this isn't comedy, Halloween Resurrection, I don't know what it is.
Very scare tactics inspired. Was that even a thing back there in Scare Tactics?
It was
I
a few
think so,
years later,
yeah.
I think. It was?
Yeah.
Because that's what I get from
Not entirely sure,
Halloween.
but yeah, absolutely get that from that. Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
Scare Tactics, very, very shiny, very all the stuff that was made to look old. It's not, that shit ain't old. Somebody did that today.
Scare Tactics actually came out a year later. A year later, excuse me. I just looked it up. So I have to wonder if Scare Tactics was inspired by this movie and made something a little more enjoyable. Because I do remember liking that show a lot.
It's coming back out.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. We should watch it in the server.
Everything is
Yeah.
coming back
Yeah.
out.
Going for a
Coming
finger.
Oh no, there's gonna be Halloween Resurrection too. God damn it.
back.
Max is first in line.
I'll be right there with you.
You're not wrong, but it would be at the edge of a pier.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Heathen. I feel like you're a little caught off guard by my jokes. Sorry.
No, there's no judgment here
Okay.
at all. But we'd prefer it if you don't do what you're suggesting. Just go and watch the movie. Maybe you'll love it. Have a big drink before.
I wouldn't do that. I would live to make fun of it. So that was what I would really do.
Exactly.
There we
Spread the word how terrible it is.
I've watched Easy Rider 2. There is a worse. Well, actually, this was worse than Easy Rider 2. But there is a sequel to Easy Rider, and I've reviewed it on my channel. I own one of the few physical copies of it. This movie is so bad you can't even pirate it.
All right.
Until just hearing about Easy Rider 2 just then, the weirdest sequel I ever heard of was Titanic 2, but Easy Rider 2 might rival that. Titanic 2, you've not heard of this one?
No.
The saga continues.
The second sinking.
Yeah. The briny deep couldn't keep the vessel at the bottom of the sea.
oh no, it's
Is it like Titanic 2 Sink Harder or something like that?
Think harder, yeah, that would be a great one. Starring Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Titanic 3
Aw.
goes to space. You never know.
Titanic in space. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's something. That white
I would unironically watch that.
yeah. But something else that really struck me in this movie, and it's not currently on Max or Frank, but Michael Myers, his hair in Halloween Resurrection is like he's spending a lot of time at the salon, or he's at home blow drying and using product own hair. And it makes me imagine that beneath the mask, he's got some new pearly whites, maybe some eyebrow threading, and
Chemical
just other
peel.
things of nature. Because his hair is very off-putting to me in this movie. He's definitely doing his hair before he's going out and stalking people.
Combing it back, flicking it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
20 years. 20
My
years.
former co-host when I was on Revcast many years ago, we reviewed this movie on Revcast, and he said that the mask looked like Tom Cruise.
Yeah, we gone from William Shatner to Tom Cruise. Yeah, obviously the original mask is the William Shatner mask.
I would love. Would you guys like to see William Shatner in a Halloween movie?
Absolutely.
Imagine
That
him
would
as
be
Dr.
hilarious.
Loomis. He has the blackest eyes, the darkest eyes.
Yeah. The delivery would just be out of this
I'll
world.
watch
Yeah.
William Shatner in any movie, so bring it on.
Yeah. Not only do I watch William Shatner and stuff, but I have the Nimoy Shatner musical numbers as well on CD.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, it's not available on vinyl, but you can hear Leonard Nimoy and William Shatner singing such songs as "To Watch the Girls Go By" and "The Legend of Bilbo Baggins." I hope you're all familiar.
That scares me more than anything I saw in Terrifier 3, just thinking about that.
It's probably not hard to imagine, but William Shatner sounds pissed out of his mind on every single song that he performs on that album.
I've
Love
heard
it.
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, and I never want to, and Racket Man, and I don't want to hear anything else. Like, I feel like you guys, just speaking as an American to British people, wait, he's Canadian, it doesn't matter. Just send the SAS after him.
It's
Oh god.
it's all
Me and Karin recently, for our own channel, we actually watched 3 Halloween movies. We went in reverse order. We started with Halloween Resurrection, went to H2O, and we finished with Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. Now,
it doesn't even matter. It fucking doesn't matter what order you watch. You can watch it in any different order. It doesn't fucking matter.
Correlation to each other whatsoever. But again, there were some questions that were brought up. Is in, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. In this movie, he is controlled by the Cult of Thorns, so he's under a cult's control. And you know, in that film, Jamie Lloyd, his niece, has just given birth at the beginning of the movie, and she's also been taken away by this Cult of Thorn. And there's a fan theory that her baby is actually Michael's. And I put this theory to Karen, who is not as familiar with the franchise as I am. And she said, and I quote, "I'm not sure Michael Myers has the ability to come." So in Halloween Resurrection, there's a bit where Michael Myers is caught lurking in the shadows, perv-like, while one of the characters lifts up her bra. And I was wondering, is he just, you know, an accidental asexual perv, or is he a sexual being? These are the questions.
Mimicking the... Oh, sorry.
This is what keeps you up at night.
I took a 4th day off of work to come up with that question.
Yeah.
Well, it is a Harvey Weinstein produced movie, so it was probably part documentary. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going with Michael Smashes.
Michael
You think
Smashes.
so?
There we go.
Michael Smashes.
Does he keep the mask on?
Always.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is he a one woman, a one man, a one person kind of man, or does he play around the field?
He doesn't have enough chat to have multiple women.
He keeps it in the family for sure.
Yes.
Have you two seen the producer's cut of Halloween 6 at all? They answer the question. It is Michael's kid in Halloween 6. They bring it up in the producer's cut. It's an interesting watch, the movie, because you see how different it is in a lot of ways. So if you wanted to check that out, but yeah, that has been answered. And
Oof. Okay, well,
Pretty
there
grim.
you go. Apparently, I was wrong. Able. I'm sorry to insult.
luckily they're not
Willing and able, yeah. He's ready to
Willing.
go.
All
Yeah.
signs point. Yes.
The whole thing of the cult in number 6, and then we get H2O afterwards, followed by Resurrection, followed by 2 lots of reboots. Personally, I don't need more reboots, so I was thinking maybe they could go back into the whole Cult of Thorn thing. They could bring Freddy from Halloween Resurrection back, aka Busta Rhyme. They could bring LL Cool J back from Halloween H2O, aka Ronnie. They could bring Josh Hartnett back, and we could just have the kung fu intertwined with the Rune, the Cult of Thorn, and just have it all meshed together in a way that is satisfactory for maybe not many people, but some.
Let's say satisfactory for, like,
I
no
mean,
one.
it could work. I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis was in Everything Everywhere All at Once, so maybe we could do like a movie where Laurie Strode is upset with her life, and then somehow like the multiverse collapses and she's dealing with all the different characters in the different franchises.
Yeah. That could
I
be
don't know why
worked.
my
Still,
career as a
that could be worked
screenwriter
out.
didn't work out. I have a brilliant idea. No, I've never tried to be a screenwriter.
Well, that's the problem with living with a screenwriter, is that every time we watch a film and then he asks a question, now next thing you know, he's got 100,000 movie ideas, including things like Chucky in space. I guess to add Titanic in space to the list.
Absolutely,
right?
that's overtaken Chucky in space. Yeah.
Titanic in space, and Liam Neeson from Taken needs to be involved somehow. He needs to rescue his daughter from the ship before it crashes into the sun.
I'm sure Liam Neeson would sign up on the dotted line straight away.
Maybe Chucky could take over the Titanic in space.
Now you're talking.
There you
I
go.
would watch the shit out of that.
Yeah.
That feels like a good time.
So this is Halloween Resurrection is an exceptionally dumb movie. I mean, I'm really tearing it apart, but apart from the Rob Zombie ones and the more recent trilogy, I still really enjoy this movie. Much like Mo, I can have it on in the background at any time. I can fall asleep to it even. It's like a giant hug, almost.
Aww.
In a way. And I can't get away from the kung fu scene, going back to it, because if you think about the history of Halloween and Michael Myers, go back to the first one. He's been riddled with bullets and fallen off a balcony. In number 2, he's been shot in both eyeballs, been burnt to a crisp. He's been decapitated, all these things. And he survived them all. He's made of sterner stuff, Michael Myers. But then
we know
upsets Busta Rhymes, schools us out of Kung Fu. And not only does he school us out of Kung Fu, you've got Dr. Loomis for the past 25 years has been trying to get through to Michael Myers to absolutely no avail. There's nothing behind the eyes, the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. And yet, when Busta Rhymes catches Michael Myers just walking around the house, he berates him. And he gets through to Michael Myers because Michael Myers just turns around and walks away. He thinks to himself, actually, Busta Rhymes has a point. Maybe I'll hold off killing everyone straight away because I've got to let him get his footage for his viral TV show. So yeah, Busta gets through the mind of Michael Myers way quicker than Dr. Loomis could have ever dreamed.
He knew Busta could
He
sort
knows
it
how to
all
talk
out.
to these kids.
Yeah.
You just
I
gotta
guess that kicking him in the head is a good way to like get to his mind quick.
Yeah.
He boggled the mind of Michael
Yeah.
Myers. That one scene when he's doing his do, and Michael gives the old head nod, like, "What the fuck is this, Mom? What is he doing to me?"
I mean,
That's
it's
what
probably the first time anyone's ever acted like that with Michael Myers. So
Mhm.
goes to prove that even Michael Myers can genuinely just be stunned into not acting out. Also, welcome the viewer Anna Carlson. I wonder who that could be. Welcome.
You invited your sister to this thing?
I very, very carefully made sure my family has no idea about any of this.
Yeah. And she is also coming live from America.
Yeah, another one from the States. Yeah. So, sorry, I got distracted by family member. Now carrying on with the movie questions. Jonathan, any more on your
Well, it's not so much a question. I just wanted to carry on.
professional notes?
I mean, it's hard to get away from the Kung Fu once more again. So if we're going to bring back the Cult of Thorn, clearly these are the people that have taught Michael Myers to drive. We all know he can drive since the first movie. So I'm wondering, they can probably teach him to, do the Kung Fu. So we could bring him back. Michael could also have Kung Fu powers.
Yeah.
And have a rematch to the death with a now older Freddy and a reach Michael. And we'll see. And I was wondering, do you think Michael would be standing still and just, do one deadly move out of nowhere, or would he do the whole like, and hold his hands out and like, come at me kind of thing, or is he more silent still?
I think he would do like the Kill Bill, like
I'm relying on
Kill
you
thing.
guys to answer these questions for me because I'm at a loss.
I think he would have like one Mortal Kombat move that like rips their heart out really fast. Like, I would like to have like a Michael training montage though, like the Karate Kid. So maybe there's like Cult of Thorn, Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, Mr. Miyagi. I actually bought that car in. See, I'm not the only one.
Yeah, seen him learn
Was that
all
you,
that.
Frank, that said Miyagi? Was that Max?
I
don't know.
That was Max.
Okay. Frank, what were you saying as well?
I was just agreeing. I was saying that I was going to say we needed the montage. It was going to be like the Karate Kid. He needs to learn all these moves, but then it would be funny if you see him learn all these moves, but then abruptly he just does the one power thing to end it anyway.
Right.
That'd be funny.
Oh, his Hadouken move. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
With the glow, he's got to have the glow.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bog, do you think he'd have like any special fighting skills that he'd learn? What's his killer move?
I think his killer move would be the heart rip out move from Indiana Jones. Kalima, Kalima.
That is a good one. And to be fair, right at the beginning of Halloween Resurrection, we see him just like bust through the door.
Oh, that's so dumb.
In the hospital when Laurie Strode is apparently, catatonic but not drugged. And he just bursts right through the door there. So if he can do that, I reckon he can grab a living heart from someone's chest. So yeah, good killer move there, Bog.
Talking of Laurie Strode in this movie, just how epically dumb is her storyline in this movie, her comeback, her little cameo. It's absolutely horrifying. It was more than satisfactory at the end of Halloween H2O. She's decapitated Michael, but now no, she's back, and not only is she killed by Michael, but she also kisses him goodbye and says to him, "I see you in hell." It couldn't have been more ham-fisted.
her entire participation in this film was just redundant.
Mm-hmm.
She had no reason to be there at all, except to be killed off, and
Yeah,
there's no reason for that.
They did her wrong on this. They did her a disservice.
I think that one of the terms to getting her in this movie was they wanted to sign her on for 2, and I think that she kind of was like, I'll only sign on for the 2 because I don't want, the fans to feel like I need to keep getting roped into these, that sort of thing. I think that's what her mindset was. So I think that she negotiated for the ending that we got in H2O, because I think they were actually because all that footage I was saying in our chat was filmed in post-production, showing like how Michael actually escaped death. So that was part of the whole H2O filming sequence, and I think they were going to keep it in at one point because it was in the script, and then she's like, I'm not doing it if this isn't it, save it for the next movie, and that was the compromise.
God, yeah. And the whole thing of the paramedic having been put into Michael's clothes, and then he escapes the van, and just instead of taking his mask off, he stands in front of the van and says like, "Come at me, bro," kind of thing. And he's just, the whole thing is not completely nonsensical.
Do you think as well? So Laurie Strode, we've seen her be put through quite a bit from the beginning of the saga, and she's always come through the other side. So now in this one, they're suggesting that she's sort of so eaten up with guilt and terror and all this that she's in this facility. Do you buy that? Do you think that would ever happen to the Laurie Strode that we get first introduced to?
I like to think of this as an Elseworld tale, like from DC, where it's like not real, like it's like
another universe
or something. No, I don't buy that at all. Everything about it, like, it's like disrespectful, like y'all said. It's like a disservice to her character. It ruins the legacy that the previous one had built, because I liked H2O and it did end pretty well.
Yeah.
And so no, this is like totally like when I look at because I can tell that like, I'm sorry, I forget your name, Skeleton. Johnny, I could tell that you read into the timelines really like deeply as well. And so when I'm looking at the 3, 4, 5 different timelines that it takes, I ignore this one. Like, I completely ignore it. Like, it's almost like a blank spot in my mind because it's such a disservice to the character.
Yeah, it definitely stands on its own for all the wrong reasons. Yeah, it's actually. Sorry,
you liked it, Mo?
I thought, well, to have Laurie Strode's character in whichever number Resurrection is, I thought it was just to pull more people in. They don't know how long she's going to be in the movie. They don't know. They're thinking, oh my God, oh, she's she's not coming back to do nothing in this movie except for say hi.
Yeah.
I wonder if they even considered that it would be like this huge shock moment. Like, they're like, let's shock them at the beginning. It's like Scream where Drew Barrymore died or something, like, and everyone's gonna love it. They're gonna be like, no. Instead, we're like, that was not cool at all.
No,
I can pinpoint to something else since you brought up Drew Barrymore. What that was inspired by, her mother in Psycho. Remember, they play it like her mother is going to be the star of Psycho. So that was one of the things I didn't like about H2O. I like it a lot more than this. It's not my favorite, but I like it a lot more than this. They kept playing up the fact that Janet Leigh was in the movie and she's her daughter and stuff like that, making Psycho references. I think this was just a continuation of them pushing that gag too far. That's my impression of it.
That makes sense, yeah. That Janet Leigh was in H2O, you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of it like that before, so it's an interesting one. I think as well, it's fair enough with these franchises that you have to kind of bring in the audience that's there, because we've established Road. We know Jamie Lee Curtis in herself. I mean, even aside from this franchise, is such an icon that she's going to bring people in to watch her movies. So yeah, it's that, as you say, that kind of audience baiting with that person that you love. And then not only is she barely in it, but as most of us said, she's done this massive disservice. They take away a lot of what we grew to love about her, the character that she built. And then they just kill her off, not even in a spectacular fashion. It's just so mundane.
Yeah, what I think could have made that work better is, like, I remember at the time, like, there was a lot of chat going around about how the sequel was coming out to H2O. Mind you, I think I was 10 or 11 at the time, so I heard about it. I didn't get to see H2O. And I even found an old article from on one of the Halloween sites because, you know, you can only go off your memory from, like, over 20 years ago and not be accurate. So I found an old article, and even, I think it's either Malek Akkad or Mustafa Akkad, who said, "Oh, well, it was a copycat killer in H2O." Like, even though they had that fake out filmed, I think the fact that he said that showed that maybe they were wrestling with, maybe we don't need to do this. Maybe if they had gone the copycat killer route, you could see Laurie being disheveled and maybe being in a place, but as like part of a ruse, not because she felt guilty for killing somebody, but setting a big trap. And that would make more sense. She's like, oh, she's paranoid. She thinks Michael is still out to get her. I can't blame her. I think that could have maybe worked a little bit for like showing her mental state being a fake out than what we got in this movie, because it's kind of a muddled message, I think, that we got in the opening act. What do you guys think?
I do remember just briefly, we watched this also with commentary, and there was a moment where the director mentioned in that scene, you know, she's got the doll with her, and that's where she's hiding the medications that she's not taking. And they were saying like, oh, we really hope that the audience understands how long she's been here and how many times she's skipping her medication. But
that's right. I didn't think. Sorry.
No. I mean, that was basically the end of it. I was just saying that again. It's like if the director has to make a comment like that, it's
the director's commentary is actually baffling. The guy is convinced that he's made a tense movie in the vein of the original. He seems quite deluded. I'm not sure what was going through his mind. It is, as I said, it's a baffling commentary. One I enjoy as much as the movie without it. Yeah, it's quite a fun listen. Grab your movie watching mates and this guy, Mr. Rosenthal, he's deluded. He's stuff upstairs. There's something going on.
That actually sounds scarier than the movie. Listening to him explain this, it's.
Might be.
I actually had something come to mind really quick. If I had to make a James Bond analogy with the series, Halloween 6 is Moonraker, and Halloween Resurrection is Die Another Day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. From being a diehard James Bond fan, I get that.
Interesting, yeah. Although there's no accounting for taste, especially when you're a kid. We had all the James Bond movies in my house, and for some reason, the one that I always gravitated towards was Die Another Day. So,
the invisible car.
Yeah, with the invisible car, and it's like, oh, it's so dumb. I mean, I'm talking when I was like, 7 years old, so you can get away with it. But
absolutely,
I was the same way. I liked that movie until I was about 19 years old, so it was my own. As I grew up playing Metal Gear Solid, so all that stuff seemed reasonable to me. But then when I got to know more of the James Bond movies, I was like, ooh. Even Roger Moore at the time, I heard when he watched it, he said it was a little too over the top for my taste, and I was the first Bond to go to outer space.
Everybody goes to space, baby.
Yeah.
In my opinion, if it ain't Sean Connery, it ain't James Bond.
Again, when you haven't got the Michael Myers mask, then it matters who's playing the character because it takes away. What did you guys think of the physicality? We've mentioned briefly the mask. What did you guys think of the physicality of Michael in this one versus previous installments?
There was something that was glaringly obvious in number 6, where there's a part where Michael is chasing someone and his arms are going like he's running after him with his knife in his hand. I was like, that's not the way Michael moves. And there were just certain things in this movie. Back in one scene as well, he's got a bad back in number 6 as well in certain places. It's obvious to tell. He's been down the mine or something like that, been down the pit, had a hard day's labor. And in Resurrection, it's just a regular stunt guy playing him. And to stunt guys and everything, it always seems to be better to have someone who's got a perfection of movement within their repertoire, because otherwise if you can't believe in the Michael, then it takes away from the movie almost completely.
I think that there are stuntmen that can do it. I mean, James Jude Courtney, I think, did a decent job in the new trilogy with it. One thing that I've seen with stuntmen is like the good ones. They'll do test footage of them side by side with the actor, have them throwing kicks and punches, so it can show that they can match the body language of the people. So they, in my, I just want to make sure I'm not taking anything away from stuntmen when they can do this sort of acting. I just think this was not in this stuntman's repertoire. That's my opinion of it.
No, you're right.
No, there was a lot of lifting up and placing, a lot of lifting up and squeezing of the brain, or lifting up and putting them here. Okay, nope, we're gonna put this guy over here.
He's doing biceps every day. That's all he works on. Yeah, it's do you guys also, because Michael Myers is again one of those killers that's been established as the slow, plodding but inevitable type of killer. Do you feel like that should always be stuck to in every version that's coming after it, or do you think it's okay when they kind of give him some speed or something for a new version?
Like when they had RoboCop run in the remake.
Yeah.
Oh, that part. Well,
did Michael plod, or should he be able to run, guys?
No, he's got to jump out of spaces and plod.
I think he should go slow and scary, but you could feel that the reason that they would want to speed things up in something like Resurrection is like the thought of like slow attention spans, and God forbid making it for a TikTok generation or whatever.
Yeah,
where it's going to be even more of a like get it done quick. We need to. So there's the cultural reasons behind it. I could see, but me personally, I think you keep it slow and scary or whatever.
Yeah, it would just be a blasphemy to have anything different, really.
Yeah.
I mean, people lost their minds about Michael Myers kind of grunting and stuff when he kills people in the Rob Zombie.
Yeah, he's almost talking.
Yeah, he's almost talking.
Yeah.
I'll kill you bastard.
Yeah, I think the fact that there's no emotion whatsoever makes him devoid. I mean, that's what I think makes Art the Clown a good, like original in his own way, where there is no speaking, just like Michael, but he expresses himself as if he's a comedic mime. And I think that Michael is good in his own little corner doing his thing, where he's this emotionless vessel that's almost like a robot. I mean, the Terminator actually took inspiration from the original Halloween, if I'm not mistaken. So I think there's something to that. Don't, mix. I wouldn't try to screw with something that works for that character. It would be like making a Terminator movie without Arnold. Oh, wait, that did happen.
Yeah. I mean, I stole that from James Cameron. He pointed out, he's like, yeah, people don't go to those movies for the robots, they go for Arnold. But I think the lesson applies. I stopped going to the Terminator movies for Arnold once I saw him go talk to the hand in number 3. That was me out.
No.
Yeah, there's going to be like I made a fake trailer years ago. I wish it went better, but it was like called Terminator 7, like Retirement Day or something like that, or Social Security Day. That's what it was. I think that was just called. And he goes, come with me if you want to win bingo.
That's where his life ends up, guys. There's retirement even for those people. Well, not people.
Yeah.
Max, did you go off camera on purpose?
Yeah, we've got some weird like red bauble with a face.
That's Max.
I'm wondering if he couldn't breathe because of the mask and he finally gave up or something.
He's passed out.
It's
Oh, hey, there he is.
I think 1 hour wearing that mask is admirable. I needed to get some fresh air.
That's what I was wondering if that's what it was. I was curious.
Yeah, it was starting to feel painful. It was just terrible. It was like it wasn't the worst part of my day because I just watched that movie, but it was up there.
Yeah,
well, I'm glad we got to alley-oop that joke.
Thank you.
What's your bog is still conscious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Recirculating gases.
Yeah, Bog, you good?
Bog, you okay?
I'm still living.
Oh, good.
He's alive.
Can you hear me now?
He's alive.
Good.
Good. Good one, Bog. Good reference. I'd forgotten about that.
Cool. I just wanted to see if you guys had any last thoughts that you wanted to share, whether it's about Halloween Resurrection we just saw, or just the Halloween franchise in general.
Or life in general.
Life in general.
Is it so bad to say that Halloween H2O and Halloween Resurrection kind of got me interested in the franchise again? Sparked my
that's
interest
cool.
to be like, oh my goodness, Michael Myers, you're part of the world now. You're not forgotten.
Yeah, I've got nothing but love for Halloween H2O, so I can see how that would get you or anyone into the franchise.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How about you, Frank?
No deep final thoughts about Halloween Resurrection. No, absolutely not. But excited to be here all the time. I'm wondering what the next Monster Fam Live is going to be. Obviously, we have another movie coming up after this. What are we watching next? Scream something.
Scream 3, I think it was.
Scream 3, that's awesome.
Which was
oh no, it's not. Excuse me. That's terrible. What the hell who chose these movies? The heck?
I think DeRay had tormenting me for all the bad
she's
movies
like,
that
I'm
they
sorry,
watched.
I can't be there with y'all, but have fun watching Scream 3 and Halloween Resurrection. Thanks, DeRay.
and Rainbow Fright was the one who suggested Scream 3 as well.
Yeah.
So.
Thanks.
The first one on John and the second one on Rainbow Fright. But we had a fun discussion about them. And would you get so much fun if it was like a really good movie?
Oh, this is the point. When it's a good movie, we sit there quietly watching. Like every once in a while, we're like, oh, that was
everyone. You might say something. No, let's talk about it.
I like to say we specialize in schlock.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
We had a really great conversation about pizza, so that was fun.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
So just in chat, Villainous Cinema is talking about being on the next one, Monster Fam Live. Rainbow Fright's responding. And just throwing this out there too. Anyone in the chat who has a YouTube channel, we throw this to a different host each month. And so Heathen is our host this month. Max is hosted, Rainbow Fright is hosted. So if anyone is interested, they could reach out to us and get it going.
Yeah, and also I would also mention about the Discord. It's so welcoming, and if you haven't joined and you love horror, it's the place to be.
The place to be.
So
there's so many reasons I can imagine someone not thinking it's welcoming. It's crazy that it is in its own little way. It is welcoming. It's welcoming in a way that like weeds out someone who shouldn't be there anyway, or whatever on its own.
Absolutely.
It's a great community. It's a great one. And I also just want to say hi before they disappear in the comments. Nick Pushes Horror Channel. And yes, it is almost Halloween, so happy almost Halloween to you too. Oh, actually, that's a good one to end this off with. Have you guys got any plans for Halloween 31st, or maybe you doing it on the weekend or something?
I'm going to be showing 4 movies as soon as I get home from work.
Oh, look at you. He doesn't ask anyone's like opinion. He's like, I'm just taking Halloween.
Yeah.
Take it. I'll be at work.
Oh.
So this is my Halloween party, if you will. Halloween party for one. And I've already done like a work Halloween party before. So usually on the day of Halloween, I just count the minutes until I can go home.
Karen is currently unaware, but our plans on Halloween only involves this. This is Freddy's greatest hits.
Oh, nice.
Halloween's a particularly saucy time, so if you're looking to get lucky as a lad, just put this on the sound system. It has all the ladies' favorites, including Do the Freddy and, of course, Wooly Bully. So you can't go wrong.
Good Lord.
Corinne, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand why he has taken your heart. I now understand.
That's not where I thought you were going with that, Mo.
You should really give that back, man.
Oh my god. I mean, it's been so much fun watching the movie with you guys in the chat.
Been an honor to host.
And talking to you guys here. Yeah, thank you for putting up with us. We can blame it on the fact that we're British, and so, we're all weirdos. But thanks for that.
We all agree.
I thought it was Canadians.
Yeah.
All the best people are weird, right? So I'll take.
People are weird, baby.
I don't think I'm weird.
No.
We start with
Okay.
it.
Okay.
And thank you to
Cool.
everyone as well who came and hung out with us. And as mentioned, if you're interested, head over again to the Discord for Scream 3. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.